It's the 2nd of August 2026. This is a brand new edition of Newsfirst's Primetime News, coming to you live and direct from our Newsfirst studios in Colombo. Bringing you tonight's bulletin for the Newsfirst team. I am Jaima Ratnayaka.
And I'm Hiruni Karunaratna. Here are headlines for tonight.
The headlines on Newsfirst. Unrest at Mahara prison brought under control. Riotous inmates damaged several buildings and equipment within the prison premises. What use is a government that cannot control the prison? Sajid questions. Recent incidents are not isolated events. Namal issues a statement.
මේවා ව්‍යාකූල කරන්න මේවා කඩාකප්පල් කරන්න කුමන්ත්‍රණය කරන ක්‍රියාවලිය කොටසක් මේ තියෙන්නේ මෙහෙම කරලා නම් ඔය විපක්ෂයේ ආණ්ඩු බලය ගන්නවා ඒවා සුම්මා.
Attorney General grants approval for proposal to increase the retirement age of judges. 2 missing Chilo fishermen found in the sea off Kolupitia. 1 dead. Rainfall exceeding 50 millimeters expected in several areas. Weather forecast warns of increasing wind speeds. Sirasa TV Magic International Kite Festival successfully held at the Mahara Beach Park with the participation of local and international kite creators.
Taking a look at those news in detail. The unrest which flared up between inmates at the Mahara prison has been completely brought under control following the intervention of the police and the Tri-Forces.
Senior DIG Sajiva Madhavatta said that security has been strengthened both within and outside the prison premises.
Meanwhile, the police curfew imposed last night across several Grama Niladhari divisions in Ragama to control the situation was lifted this afternoon.
The damage caused by the unruly inmates at the Mahara prison was evident, with several buildings and equipment inside the prison premises destroyed. Visuals captured from within the prison premises once the unrest had been controlled showed extensive damage to the compound, including common areas, several wards and a building which had recently been declared open at the prison. Authorities had taken steps to move the inmates to other wards within the Mahara prison, as the next steps were being discussed. Visuals also showed major damage to the prison's kitchen, possibly caused due to an act of arson by the rioting inmates. The kitchen had supplied food for nearly 4,000 inmates at the prison on a daily basis. The prison media spokesperson explained the extent of the destruction caused to the prison by the inmates who engaged in the unrest.
මුළු තැන්ගේ සම්පූර්ණ විනාශ කරලා තියෙනවා බොයිලේදුව උයන කුකර් ඔක්කොම සම්පූර්ණ විනාශ කරලා ගිනි තියලා තියෙනවා ඊළාට පුනරුත්ථාපන ගොඩනැගිල්ල තියෙන සියලුම උපාංග ගොඩනැගිල්ල සමග විනාශ කරලා තියෙනවා ප්‍රධාන ජන කාර්යාලය සම්පූර්ණ විනාශ කරලා තියෙනවා බන්ධනාගාර රෝහල විනාශ කරලා තියෙනවා ඊට අමතරව රැඳවියන් පුනරුත්ථාපනය සඳහා විවිධ වැඩසටහන් කරනවා වැහුම් වැඩසටහන් ඊළඟට වඩු වැඩ ඊළඟට විවිධාංශේ ඒ සියලු ගොඩනැගිලි බාණ්ඩ ඇතුළු
What really happened at the Mahara prison?
The Mahara prison is one of Sri Lanka's main maximum security prisons. A large number of remand inmates, which means suspects held in custody until the conclusion of their court trials or while legal proceedings are ongoing, are detained at this facility. In addition, inmates convicted or accused of civil and criminal offences, drug-related offences and other serious crimes are also held at Mahara prison. As of yesterday, approximately 4,100 inmates were being held at the facility. The prison's department said that approximately 3,500 of them are individuals facing drug-related charges. The unrest within the Mahara prison premises erupted at around 4:30 p.m. yesterday. During the incident, a group of inmates attempted to escape by breaking down a wall under construction inside the prison, while another set of inmates had set fire to several prison buildings.
How did the security forces bring the situation under control?
Following the report of the incident, prison officials, police personnel and the Police Special Task Force took immediate steps to ensure security of the outer perimeter of the prison with the assistance of the Tri-Forces. As the Mahara prison is located in an urban environment, security forces took measures to bring the situation under control while ensuring that there was no disruption or threat to the lives of nearby residents. The Sri Lanka Air Force took steps to deploy drones and a Bell 412 helicopter for aerial surveillance of the prison compound. Minutes after the unrest began, a group claiming to be relatives of inmates gathered outside the prison premises, creating a tense situation. Accordingly, a police curfew was imposed last night across 3 Gramaniladari divisions in Ragama to control the situation outside the prison. The areas under curfew were 246 Kandaliyadda Paluva West, 246C Kandaliyadda Paluva North and 181G Dabua Gramaniladari divisions. After securing the outer perimeter, prison officials, together with security forces, systematically entered the prison premises and took steps to bring the situation under control. A group of unruly inmates had assaulted another group of inmates inside the prison, and 6 inmates injured during the clash were taken outside the prison premises and admitted to hospital with the assistance of all relevant authorities. Heads of security, including the Secretary to the Ministry of Defence, the Army Commander and the Inspector General of Police, arrived at the Mahara prison premises last night to assess the situation. However, by this morning, prison officials and security forces had succeeded in completely bringing the situation at the Mahara prison under control. SDIG Sajiva Madhavatha expressed his views on the incident.
අපි මේ තත්ත්වය මෙන්න පවත්වලා දැනට නැවතත් සියලුම රැඳවියන් ආරක්ෂිතව ඔවුන්ගේ වාට්ටුවට යොමු කරලා තියෙනවා. තව දුරටත් ආරක්ෂාව තහවුරු කරලා බන්ධනාගාරයේ කටයුතු සාමාන්‍ය තත්ත්වයට පත් කරන්න කටයුතු කරනවා.
What is the current situation at the Mahara prison?
8 inmates injured during the unrest that erupted among prisoners at the Mahara prison are currently receiving treatment at the Ragama Teaching Hospital. The injured inmates were admitted to the Ragama Teaching Hospital, where 1 inmate succumbed to his injuries. He was a 33-year-old resident of Handala facing drug-related charges. After bringing the situation under control, the Department of Prisons stated that around 104 inmates from Mahara prison had been transferred to other prisons. A majority of those transferred were individuals accused of drug-related offences. The police curfew imposed on several Gramaniladari divisions in Ragama was lifted this afternoon after the situation was completely brought under control. The Department of Prisons announced this evening that relatives will not be permitted to visit inmates at the Mahara prison from today until the 5th of August.
What caused the unrest at the Mahara prison?
The subject minister expressed his views on this matter.
First, I have called for a report on the incident. Since a person has died, a complaint must also be lodged with the police. However, the exact course of action can only be decided after reviewing the initial report. The authorities were not in a position to submit a report yesterday, as most senior officers are still inside the prison premises. I have instructed them to provide me with the preliminary report before the end of today. further action will be taken based on the findings of that report. However, given that a death has occurred, a police complaint will most likely have to be filed.
Fishing in troubled waters.
A nation united, National Anti-Drug Operation is currently conducting continuous drug raids across the country. Furthermore, over the past few months, security forces have been able to arrest numerous organized crime gang members as well as drug traffickers. Authorities have already taken steps to curb the drug trafficking activities operating within prisons.
It was against such a backdrop that an unrest among inmates was reported yesterday at the Mahara prison and also the Negombo prison recently. Are these incidents being used by the opposition for their political advantage? What is the opposition saying now?
Opposition leader Sajid Premadasa says that the recent incident at Mahara prison, occurring just days after the no-confidence motion against the subject minister, is due to the government's inability to control the prison system. The opposition leader expressed these views at around 9 p.m. yesterday. This was while the government was actively working to control the unrest at the Mahara prison. Samagijan Balavege Member of Parliament S.M. Marikka also participated in this meeting.
This current government cannot even manage a prison. A serious situation has developed at the Mahara prison. A government that cannot manage the prison system of this country. Can they bring prosperity to the lives of 22 million everyday citizens? How will they provide solutions to the deep-seated sorrow, tears and pain in your hearts? During the previous parliamentary session, we brought forward a no-confidence motion. Only a few days have passed and a severe crisis has erupted inside the Mahara prison. A government that cannot maintain control even within the Mahara prison. Can these people build a country?
Do you remember the brutal series of attacks that claimed the lives of 277 innocent people and left over 500 more permanently disabled? When that attack took place, Sajid Premadasa was a cabinet minister in the government at the time. Perhaps opposition leader Sajid Premadasa might have forgotten about Easter Sunday attacks, because he attended the launch event to accept the book authored by Uday Gammanpilla, which names Sahran Hashim as the mastermind of the Easter attacks. Gotabaya, Mahinda and Namal were also there. How is that the opposition leader, who speaks about managing the prison system, still lacks the courage to make a statement regarding the investigation into the Easter Sunday terrorist attacks?
The incident at the Mahara prison is not an isolated one. That is what Namal Rajapaksa, the national organizer of the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna, says.
This is the second such incident to occur within a prison in a very short period of time. This incident took place just as a vote of no confidence brought against the Minister of Prisons was defeated while he was celebrating the victory. Therefore, though this incident may be seen as an isolated event and Negombo may be seen as another, there is a massive social crisis within the prison system itself. The lives of both the prison officers and the inmates inside have been placed in grave danger. Hence, we urge the government to pay attention to this matter immediately. Otherwise, this will lead to a massive social catastrophe. Do you
remember, while Namal Rajapaksa of the Podujana Peramuna talks about the clash at the Mahara prison, perhaps he has forgotten the incident that took place at the Valikada prison on the 9th of November 2012. 27 inmates died as a result of that clash. More than 40 others were injured, which included security forces personnel. Back then, the president was Namal Rajapaksa's father, Mahinda Rajapaksa. The defense secretary was his uncle, Gotabaya Rajapaksa. The speaker was Chamal Rajapaksa. And Namal Rajapaksa was a member of parliament at the time. How did Namal forget to deliver justice then to the inmates who were brutally murdered at the Valikada prison?
The Democratic National Alliance convened a media briefing today regarding the unrest at the Mahara prison yesterday.
Was the Mahara prison unrest fueled by certain figures who yearn to ascend to presidency? The Democratic National Alliance alluded to this point during a press conference held today.
මේ අත්අඩංගුවට ගැනීම මේ මද්ද්‍රව්‍ය වැටලීම් කරන මේ ක්‍රියාවලිය.
It is very clear that some third parties are orchestrating this incident to cripple this process of making arrests and conducting drug raids. There is a third party behind the Mahara incident, the Negombo incident and this incident, the opposition in the country. They don't want to suppress this drug racket or control it. They stand for expanding it. We saw that alongside yesterday's Mahara incident, the social media pages of the respective parties went live with these events. As we witnessed, at the same time, there was a group that was prepared in front of the Mahara prison. How did these people get there? We saw in the footage the people shouting. Who are they with? And who do they do politics with? Their pictures are floating around social media, standing alongside those dream presidents on the other side. Aren't these parts of a drama? Aren't these parts of a script? Therefore, we tell the government, the Minister of Justice and everyone to remain vigilant about this. These elements are part of a conspiring process to create confusion and sabotage this. If they think they can capture state power through such methods, that's nothing. The general public of this country will not allow them to take power or do that. We saw when it was requested to extend the working hours of judges. Who is it that takes to the streets against it? It is the leading group in the opposition facing court cases, out on bail and under suspicion. That exact same group is the one that has taken to the streets regarding the Mahara incident as well. This is very clear. Everything connects together. Therefore, this is a conspiracy.
මේ මහර සිද්ධිය සම්බන්ධව එළියට බහැලා දෙන්නේ. මේක බොහොම පැහැදිලි එකිනෙකට ගැලපෙනවා. ඒ නිසා මේ කුමන්ත්‍රණය.
What is really happening here? Dr. Susil Ranasinghe, Minister of Housing, Construction and Water Supply, clarified the matter on behalf of the government.
Politics, drugs, the underworld and organized crime syndicates form an interconnected network. With the measures being taken to prevent this, all these groups are now unsettled. They are reacting against it. The underworld reacts in the manner of how an underworld would, while political factions that misappropriated public funds and patronized the underworld react in a different way. Therefore, from various fronts, through various methods, by making various accusations, causing embarrassment and criticizing the government, they are at work. These are not isolated incidents. They are interconnected. Therefore, following the Negombo prison incident, we believe this Mahara prison incident also has some connection to it. They face a question regarding their political survival and regaining power. Therefore, they need to level criticism against this government. They need to portray to the public that this government is a failure. Because of that, they are utilizing everything they come across.
මේ ආණ්ඩුව අසාර්ථකයි කියලා ජනතාවට හුවා දක්වන්න ඕනේ. ඒ නිසා උන් හම්බ වෙන හැම දෙයක්ම පාවිච්චි කරගන්නවා.
The battle against drugs is not an easy one. It is dangerous. However, this dangerous mission is being carried out for the future of our country. Drug traffickers and organized criminal groups are not people who can be underestimated. Around the world, drug cartels and organized crime groups have grown so powerful that they have even influenced the governance of countries such as Mexico and Colombia. There is no shortage of information online about the destruction and suffering faced by the people of those countries. The connections between underworld groups, drug traffickers and politicians are also very evident. Our own country has more than enough evidence and examples of such links. As the country carries out this fight to eliminate drugs and suppress organized crime, the public must remain vigilant. Every incident that unfolds must be considered with wisdom and understanding. This operation is a dangerous mission undertaken for the benefit of the people living today and for the children of the future. The citizenry must stand united and be prepared to overcome this difficult challenge. This operation may cause concern among certain groups. Those affected may attempt to create various situations. However, if opposition representatives attempt to exploit such incidents to fulfill their political ambitions, does that not risk pushing the country towards a destructive path? We report, you decide. Taking a look at more local news, Attorney General Parinder Ranasinghe says he has certified that the proposal to increase the retirement age of judges is consistent with the Constitution. He further stated that his approval has been conveyed to the legal draftsman for the preparation of the relevant legislation.
The Cabinet on the 27th of July approved a proposal to extend the retirement age of judges serving in all courts by 2 years. Under the proposal, a constitutional amendment will be drafted to extend the retirement age of judges of the Supreme Court and the Court of Appeal by 2 years. Cabinet also granted approval to amend the Judicial Act to extend the retirement age of judges serving in all the other courts. Accordingly, Cabinet approved referring the relevant draft legislation to the legal draftsman for preparation, following which it would be submitted to the Attorney General for approval. Responding to an inquiry on the matter, Attorney General Parindra Ranasinghe said that he has certified that the amendment to increase the retirement age of judges is consistent with the provisions of the Constitution. He further said that his approval has been conveyed to the legal draftsman.
Weather first.
The Department of Meteorology has issued its latest weather forecast valid for the next 36 hours.
Umitra Bekon brings us the latest. Umitra?
Thank you, Therni and Jaima. Now, according to the Department of Meteorology, showers will occur at times in the Sabaragamo province as well as in the Kandy and Nuwara Eliya districts. Fairly heavy falls of about 50 millimeters are likely at some places in these areas. Now, several spells of showers will occur in western and northwestern provinces as well as in the Gaul and Mathura districts. Showers or thunder showers may occur at a few places in the Uva province and in the Ampara and Batiklo districts after 2 p.m. Mainly dry weather will prevail over the other areas of the island. Meanwhile, strong winds of about 40 to 50 kilometers per hour can be expected at times over north central, Sabaragamuwa, southern, central and northwestern provinces and in the Trincomalee district.
Meanwhile, 2 spill gates of the Mahavali Dam in Polkolla remain open by 2 feet each, releasing water into the Victoria Reservoir. In addition, 1 spill gate of the Kukuleganga Reservoir has also been opened, with water being discharged into the Kudaganga River. Meanwhile, a body was found washed ashore along the coastal road in Kollupitiya Police Division. It is suspected to be that of a missing fisherman. Another fisherman was washed ashore by the sea to the very same location, and our correspondent said that he has been admitted to the National Hospital of Colombo. A fishing vessel that had ventured into sea recently from the Toduava estuary in Chilao had gone missing along with 2 fishermen who were aboard it. The police said that they are residents of the Iranamila area in Chilao. Meanwhile, a container that fell into the sea from a vessel in the seas close to the Colombo port has been washed ashore on the Koskoda beach in Durua. 17 containers fell into the sea yesterday from the vessel named MSS Graphene in the seas 17 nautical miles west of the Colombo port. Sri Lanka Ports Authority stated that Air Force and Navy teams have been deployed to monitor them. The Department of Fisheries said that depending on the nature of the ocean currents, there is a high possibility of these empty containers drifting ashore from Beirula through Nigambo up to Putlam. The Department of Fisheries requested that if these floating containers are observed, it should be immediately informed to the radio stations of the Department of Fisheries or to the nearest fisheries harbour.
US President Donald Trump says he has cancelled planned strikes on Iran on the condition that a deal is reached rapidly between the two sides.
Steven Machajo is ready to bring us more details. Steven?
Yes, thank you, Jamal, and thank you, Therni. Now, US President Donald Trump says Iran and other countries in the Middle East asked him to hold off any attack, claiming the perimeters of a deal had been agreed. Now, the comments come amid reports of possible US-Israeli strikes targeting Iran, while Tehran rejects the claims and says it remains prepared to respond to any threat. Let's take a look.
US President Donald Trump says he has cancelled all planned military strikes against Iran, saying military action will remain on hold if a deal is reached rapidly. In a post on his Truth Social platform, Trump claimed that Iran, along with several countries in the Middle East, had asked the United States to hold off any attack, adding that the framework of an agreement had already been established. His comments followed reports that the United States and Israel were considering one of the most extensive bombing campaigns yet, targeting Iran's energy infrastructure. Iran has strongly rejected Trump's claims, insisting it never requested that the United States postpone any military action. Meanwhile, Iran's acting defense minister said the country views every threat from its adversaries as real and credible, even if it is intended as psychological warfare. He warned that Iran would neither be caught off guard nor remain passive in the face of any military threat. The latest developments underscore the continuing tensions between Washington and Tehran, even as diplomatic efforts appear to remain on the table.
In more international news, 5 people have died and 41 remain missing after an Indonesian ferry carrying more than 250 passengers caught fire at sea. Let's take a look.
The passenger ferry had caught fire while travelling through Indonesian waters off Madura Island as it was sailing from Surabaya in East Java to Makassar in South Sulawesi. The vessel's captain reported the fire after flames broke out on board, prompting a major search and rescue operation. Dramatic footage from the scene showed passengers wearing life jackets gathering on lifeboats, while others are seen escaping from the smoke-filled ferry. Some passengers were forced to jump into the sea as rescue teams arrived to evacuate those trapped on board. Authorities later confirmed that the ferry was almost completely engulfed in flames. The cause of the fire still remains unclear as rescue teams continue searching for those still missing. Back to news from here at home. The 264th annual feast of the St. Anne's Shrine in Thalawila, one of the most revered Catholic places of worship in Sri Lanka, was held today. The annual celebration was attended by a large number of devotees who gathered at the shrine to take part in the Holy Mass and seek blessings.
The 264th annual feast of St. Anne's Shrine in Thalawila was held today, drawing thousands of devotees from across the country. The celebration of the Holy Mass was led by the Bishop of the Diocese of Chilaw, Right Reverend Dr. Don Vimalsili Jayasuriya. The parish priest of St. Anne's Shrine Thalawila, Reverend Father Jayanta Pereira, along with a number of other priests, also participated in the religious celebrations. The occasion was graced by the presence of the bishops of the Diocese of Jaffna and Anuradhapura, as well as the Apostolic Nuncio to Sri Lanka. Dedicated to St. Anne, the mother of Virgin Mary, St. Anne's Shrine in Thalawila holds a special place among Sri Lanka's Catholic community. The shrine is also regarded as a place of great blessing, particularly among communities engaged in fishing and maritime professions who seek the protection and guidance of St. Anne. Following the Holy Mass, the statue of St. Anne was taken in procession around the shrine, allowing devotees to pay homage and receive blessings. The faithful gathered in large numbers to seek blessings from the miraculous statue of St. Anne, continuing a long-standing tradition of devotion and faith. Devotees from various parts of the island travel to Thalawila to take part in the annual feast, making it one of the most significant religious celebrations for Catholics in Sri Lanka.
The second death anniversary almsgiving in memory of the late chief incumbent of the Hunupitiya Gangarame temple, Venerable Galaboda Nyani Sarathero, was held this morning. The ceremony was held at the Hunupitiya Gangarame temple.
Born on the 14th of December 1943, Venerable Galaboda Nyani Sarathero entered the Buddhist order on the 8th of November 1954. At the time of his passing, the Thero was 81 years old. A special almsgiving ceremony was held at the temple today to mark the completion of 2 years since his passing. The ceremony was attended by 150 Buddhist monks. The alms-giving ceremony was organised by the chief incumbent of the Hunupitiya Gangarame temple, Venerable Dr. Kirindaya Sajithera. A midday alms offering was also made to the Mahasangha.
We are gathered today to remember the most venerable Galbuddha Jnanisara Thera and to transfer merits in his memory. The late venerable Jnanisara Nayaka Thera rendered an extraordinary service to the Mahasangha and the Buddhist Sasana, driven by his unparalleled abilities and dedication. This is something that does not require further mention. The late Venerable Galbuddha Jnanisara Thera, who served as the chief incumbent of Gangarame Temple and held the position of chief Sanghanayaka of the Colombo New Korale, set an important example by ensuring that all his disciples worked together with unity and brotherhood, carrying out all responsibilities without any shortcomings.
Meanwhile, the main ceremony of the Venerable Galbuddha Jnanisara Memorial Scholarship Program was held this afternoon at Temple Trees under the patronage of Prime Minister Dr. Harini Amrasuriya. During the event, scholarships were awarded to 425 school children.
The biggest kite festival of the year, the Sirasa TV Magic International Kite Festival 2026, was successfully held today at the Mahara Beach Park. The event was held with the participation of local and international kite creators.
A number of popular actors and actresses who have won the hearts of audiences through various teledramas broadcast on Sirasa TV also joined the international experience today. The Sirasa TV Magic International Kite Festival also recognized creativity and talent by awarding prizes for categories including the most colorful kite, the largest kite, the smallest kite, the most creative kite, and the brightest kite in the night sky.
Sirasa has always stood close to the people. It was the same yesterday, it is the same today, and it will remain the same tomorrow. Going forward, we hope to especially take the city of Mahara to the world. Mahara is a tourism hotspot. I believe we can provide our support and strength to the mayor and all relevant authorities of this city. We are determined to take Mahara, the southern gateway of our country, to the international stage.
The biggest kite celebration. Sirasa TV extends its heartfelt gratitude to everyone who joined this grand experience.
And now from the world of sports, a dominant performance from Sri Lanka's women's cricket team helped them secure the ongoing T20 series against Pakistan with a match to spare.
Omitra Bekun brings us the details. Omitra?
Thank you, Tanya and Jaima. Now, Sri Lanka women have secured an unassailable 2-0 lead in the 3-match T20 International Series against Pakistan women. The hosts sealed the series victory with a convincing 6-wicket win in the second match played today. Here is a look at the match details.
The match played at Rangiri Dambul International Cricket Stadium saw Pakistan women winning the toss and opting to bat first. Openers Muniba Ali and Shawal Zulfikar provided Pakistan with a good start, building a 90-run partnership for the first wicket. Muniba Ali scored 45 runs, while Shawal Zulfikar contributed 48 runs. Young Sri Lankan spinner Chamudi Prabodha claimed 2 wickets. Pakistan women scored a total of 175 runs at the end of their allotted 20 overs for the loss of 5 wickets. In the reply innings, Sri Lanka women lost their first 2 wickets inside 55 runs. Captain Chamari Atapattu scored 40 runs, while Sanjana Kavendi top scored for Sri Lanka with 46 runs. Vishmi Gunaratna added 31 runs and Harshita Samaravikrama remained unbeaten on 37 runs. Sri Lanka chased down the target of 176 runs in just 17.4 overs, losing 4 wickets in the process to claim a 6-wicket victory. The final T20I between the two sides will be played on the 4th of August at 10 AM at the Rangiri Dambul International Cricket Stadium.
As we witnessed last week, Aussie Rules Football or AFL was premiered in Sri Lanka on TV1, bringing the excitement of the AFL to local audiences for the very first time. And the action continues tonight with another exciting match set to be broadcast live on TV1 at 9:45 p.m.
Don't forget to tune in to the thrill and the intensity of the EFL. And with that reminder, we wrap up primetime news for tonight. Thank you for watching.
Good night.